Hello everyone, how are you? Great. Great. My name is Gary O'Neill. I'm Director of Recruiting at Austin HR, and because I got 20 minutes, I'm going to jump right in it. My topic today is 5 secrets to being found on LinkedIn. You all have heard rumors that people get found on LinkedIn, recruiters reach out to people, and people get hired for jobs that way, right? I know that happens because I do that every single day, right? So I just met with somebody that happened with. So I'm here to talk to you about how to increase your odds that that's going to happen. And it's really as simple as this. It's search engine optimization for your LinkedIn profile. A lot of times people don't think about it that way. Here's the way that it works. So as a recruiter or a sourcer or someone who's on my team, LinkedIn is our primary tool. We go to LinkedIn, we search for people who are likely to be not only a good fit for our clients' requirements, but who are likely to be a good career move for them, and we reach out to them is the way that we do that. Now, the truth is that recruiters are usually really, really busy, and so if you don't come up on page number 1, page number 2, and I'm getting bored on page number 3, and never go to page number 4, the chances of me reaching out to you are very, very low. So my whole topic today is really to talk to you about how to come up, and the first, all the activity, everything is at the front of the line. So my whole point is to tell you some of the things that you can do to get yourself to the top of LinkedIn search results. It's that simple. We ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, search engine optimization, we already talked about that. I'm going to help you get to the front of the line. All right. So secret number 1 is to use multiple titles in your jobs, and here's the reason why. If one of my clients called today and they wanted to hire a systems administrator for their Microsoft network, one of my recruiters might go straight into LinkedIn. We go to an advanced search, and one of the first things we do is we put the title that we're looking for into the title field, system administrator. And then we'll put in the zip code of the area where we want it to be. And we'll press search to see what our first search results say. If I put in system administrator in the size of network that I have within, say, 35 miles of 78750, I'll get somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 hits, right? Probably about 600 hits is what I'm going to get. Now, what will happen is page number 1, right, I'm pretty interested in. Page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, I'm bored and I'm not going to get to it. So the trick is to come to the top of that page. But the reason why you might want to use multiple titles is, does anybody know a different title that somebody might use for a system administrator? People who are system administrator, what's another title for one?
IT manager.
Yeah, IT manager is another one. Another one might be network engineer, right? Another one, there's all kinds of titles. So what I know is that when I run a search for a system administrator, I get a certain set of people that appear on page 1, 2, and 3. If I search for a network engineer, I get an entirely different set of people. Now the truth is there's a lot of overlap oftentimes between those two groups of people. So what would happen is that if one of those individuals, as their title in their current job on LinkedIn, said system administrator, comma, or whatever space you wanted to, network engineer, IT manager, and had a whole list of titles, the chance that we're going to hit on the one that is the one that we happen to be searching for goes up dramatically, because you never know what title anybody's going to search for. So secret number 1 is to use multiple titles. Here's some examples. This is an eye chart. So system administrator, network engineer, Microsoft administrator, IT security, office manager, executive assistant, administrative assistant, chief of staff, software engineer, software developer, programmer, UI, UX, C++, Java.NET, C#, Agile, SAS. So somebody might search for C# programmer, I got it covered, right? Somebody might search for Java engineer, I got it covered. So basically it's about optimizing your title, because your title field in LinkedIn, the titles on your jobs, are the main thing that we use as recruiters to run our searches. Does that make sense? Yeah. Good? All right. Yes, sir.
Is that the title of the summary? Because you have a title on your summary and a title on your current job.
No, we're talking about on not just your current job. I'd suggest even on your past jobs that use multiple titles on your positions is what LinkedIn calls them. Multiple titles on your positions. And the reason why is because even if in your current position you said, say, software engineer, right? And in your past ones you said programmer or something like that, you'll come up higher in search results if every single one of your past positions said software engineer than if it only came up one time. So the more it appears, the higher you come in search results. So if you look at my profile on all my past positions, I list 5 or 6 different titles. So if somebody's looking to do business with me, they'll likely run across
You
me.
use
So
to separate it at that bar.
I like the pipe, right? The vertical bar, but you can use any separator
Comma
that
works?
you want. Sure, they're all the same. They're all the same. It's just, you know, aesthetically pleasing, whichever way makes you happy. All right. So step number 2 is to have a current position, is what LinkedIn calls them, right? Even if you're unemployed, you need to have a current position. And here's the reason why. I couldn't care less whether you're employed or not. The reason why I'll do that is that if I run a search for, say, system administrator, and I don't put if you're doing an advanced search, and you go to the title field, right under the title field is a drop down that allows me to choose from, that's their current title, or a past title, or current or past, or what have you. If I search for something like system administrator, I'll come up with people who are like me, who are a system administrator 20 years ago. All kinds of people are now real estate agents. They're in insurance. They haven't been a system administrator forever, or maybe they're a CIO or what have you. So what we do to narrow the search down is put in the title, right under the title we flip it to current. So if you do not have a current position in your LinkedIn profile, regardless of whether you're employed or not, you won't come up in my search results by definition. So you must have a current position. The way you make your position in LinkedIn current is that, you know, there's those date fields kind of to and from, and one of them has a checkbox that says, I currently work here. Check that one. That one's what makes it a current position. So I'm going to say, but I don't currently work there, and what do I do when I'm unemployed because I don't have a company? That's actually not one of the secrets, but here's one of the side secrets, which is you just create a current position, you list all the titles for the types of roles that somebody might search for you for, and then the company name is Seeking New Opportunity, right? Company name is Seeking New Opportunity, and click, I currently work here, and that makes it your current position. You can have multiple current positions, so if you're employed at a place, or you're also wanting to do something different, you can have as many current positions as you want. I think I have 2 or 3 right now. Okay. All right, you ready for number 3? You doing okay? All right, I know we have very limited time, so I'm going to try to move quick. Number 3, search engine optimized headline. So at the top of your LinkedIn profile is your name, right? And right below your name is your headline, right? If you don't intentionally edit your headline, it's going to be title at company name off of your most current position. So if you're not employed and you use the thing that I just said, it would say, you know, IT manager, whatever it is, at Seeking New Opportunity, which would be weird. So my suggestion to you is you always manually create the headline field. Don't let it automatically create that for you. If you're messing with your positions and you create a new position, if you don't change the little checkbox that says update my headline, it's going to automatically change your headline. Now, what you want to do when you're thinking about search optimizing your headline is this. A lot of recruiters and sourcers, people who do what I do for a living, we always use an advanced search, and we search into particular fields. And that searches the positions and searches other kinds of things. But, you know, in LinkedIn, when you first go in there, up at the very top is that search box up at the top, right? Well, we don't usually use that one up there, but hiring managers do, and other people who aren't as professional with LinkedIn use that one. You use that one when you're searching for people? Yeah. So that field up at the top, its primary area that it searches is your headline. So what happens is that you want to, so if somebody isn't, let's say a hiring manager who doesn't hire very often, jumps into LinkedIn and they're trying to hire a system administrator, they're going to go to the bar at the top. They're going to say system administrator, Austin, Texas, because they don't know any better. And what's going to happen is that when your headline says system administrator, you know, network engineer, Microsoft administrator, IT security, then the number of times that somebody's going to search for you that you're going to hit is going to go up, right? Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
So if you're looking for a position, can you say looking for an opportunity in the areas of alliance management or any of that, or that's
Are you
not
talking
good-
about in your headline?
in my headline?
You could say that, but here's the number one thing. What if I could have you take away nothing other than this? This is what I want you to take away with it. I think it answers your question, which is build your profile so that it's likely to come up in search results. Think about what people will search for. So if you happen to use the words looking for opportunity or whatever, you just used about 30 characters out of the 140 characters you have in your headline by putting in something that no one will ever search for. I will never search for looking for opportunity. I will never search for seeking new opportunity. I'll never search for that ever.
Thank you.
So what you want to do is to make sure that your headline and that your title fields are things that people are likely to search for. So don't use any words in your headline in particular that are filler words. It's all about keywords that people are going to search for. The titles of the types of roles that somebody's likely to search for is the most important thing, right? Most important thing. Well, good, yes, sir.
Does LinkedIn Premium get you the top, higher up on the list?
Well, you know, if you have the job seeker thing, it can bring you up high on the list, but the question I have for you is when you go to Google search results, do you click the ones that are sponsored ads or do you go to the organic ones, right? So what I'm telling you is if you do some of these things, you'll be at the top of the search results and you don't have to pay them money, right? So I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. I'm happy for you to pay them money, but I'm not sure that buys you a lot, right? That's my take on this.
So does most recruiters use LinkedIn, or which ones do they normally use?
98% of all the recruiters I know, this is our primary tool. Probably 95% of all hires that I've been associated with in the last 6 years have started, ended, and been in some way associated with LinkedIn. The 5% comes from referrals or just me doing networking. We don't really use any other tool. This is the granddaddy. I mean, this is the place, right? Secret number 4 is keywords, 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 and that's not so much the secret, right? But let me tell you how we search so you'll understand how to use keywords, and I'm going to show you how to put them in there as many times as you can. So what I really do is, remember when I first talked about it, I had a client and they wanted to hire a system administrator. So I went to an advanced search and I went to the title field and I put in system administrator and I flipped it to current. So I'm basically saying, hey, LinkedIn, please bring me people whose current position has the word system administrator in the title, right? Okay. Now, when I got 600 and some odd hits, what I know is that the people on the first 3 pages who I might actually look at, or the first 2 pages, you know, I can dial that in a little bit. So if my client happens to be in the medical and healthcare field, I'll put medical and healthcare in that keyword field and see if I can't narrow it down to a smaller set. I don't need 600 people. I need about 80 at the most. Because if I get my search set down to about 80, the 20 or 30 on the first 2 or 3 pages are likely to be high probability for me, and I'm busy, and I need to move on and do some other things. So what we'll do is we'll search the title, we'll flip it to current, we'll search the location, right, the zip code. Another site, you want another site secret? You don't necessarily have to use the zip code where you live. Put your zip code as the area in the middle of the area you're willing to commute to. Because if I get too many hits and I narrow the search within, say, 15 miles of 78746 and you live in Pflugerville, you're not in my search results. So if you're willing to commute down to Austin, you might want to move your zip code in the middle of the area where you want to commute to. That's a site secret. All right. Here's the deal with keywords. If I ran the search for system administrator within 25 miles of 78750, and then I put in medical and healthcare, whoever has medical and or healthcare or whatever in their profile the most number of times, the search engine is kind of stupid, right? It just counts. Whoever has it in there the most number of times, it's going to come up higher in the search results. So whatever keywords you can imagine that somebody might use to find someone like you for a job that they're going to fill, make sure that those words are in your profile as much as you can, to the point of it being almost repetitive. And my point is, it's much more important to have a profile that's built to be search engine optimized and come up on page number 1 than it is to have a beautiful non-repetitive profile without multiple titles on page number 10 that I'm never going to look at. You can have it beautiful all day on page number 10, and my team is never going to call you. It's never going to happen. Yes, sir.
What if you've been a consultant for 20 years and you've worked for 38 different companies?
Right.
Do you put them all on there, or do you put them all as, a lot of people have suggested to narrow it down to one consulting company?
Sure.
That's farmed me out to those companies.
Happy to answer that offline, but my real answer to your question would come back to, nobody's ever going to search for most of those companies. So when you think about it from a search engine optimization point of view, the answer to that doesn't really matter. But the real answer is take the entire 20 years, put that down into one position, put the name of whatever it is, and you probably want to highlight a couple of the most significant things that are most relevant to what somebody's going to search for you for your next opportunity. But let's talk about that in a little bit more detail later. What we need to do with keywords, though, is this, is that there are lots of places you can put them. And those might be technologies, they might be industries you work for, all kinds of things that somebody might search for. One is, at the bottom of your summary that's at the top of your LinkedIn profile, you can literally put in the word keywords, comma, and list them. So probably in your summary, some of them are already there. But if you put keywords, colon, and put them again, now they're in your profile again. So if you had healthcare a couple of times in your summary, and you had down there in that list, healthcare again, you got one more chance to put it in, you're gonna come up higher in the search results. For each one of your positions, at the bottom of your position, after you've really described your accomplishments and the rest, you can literally put keywords, colon, and put it again, healthcare, medical, or whatever it is. So that's a way to get healthcare, medical, or whatever your keywords are into your profile 15 or 20 times, so you come up way higher than anybody else, because other people would think it was ridiculous to do that. Search optimize your profile so that you're found. If you have a beautiful profile without any repetitive stuff on page 10, I'm never gonna call you.
What are the 3 sections that you could read that with keywords?
So in the summary section at the top, at the bottom of the summary, the summary, you're just filling out the area. When you get down to the bottom of where you're filling out, put keywords, colon, and you can list them. And then in each one of your positions, you can do the same thing. In the description of the position, once you've done whatever your description, you can literally put keywords, colon. And what you'll find is it doesn't even look awkward. It doesn't even look awkward. And besides that, who cares what it looks like? Because if you come up on page 10, I'm never gonna call you anyway. All right, have a beat that horse in it. Number 5 is build your network. Here's the deal with your network. Has anybody ever heard that you're only supposed to connect with people that you know? How do I get rid of that? Doesn't matter, it says build your network. So here's the deal. The other thing that gets you to the top of search results is when I run a search for system administrator, because I do a lot of technical searches, my first 2 pages at least will be full of people who I'm first person connected with. Because what it does is it finds the set of all people who match the search, and then the ones that are the closest connected to me come up at the top. So for system administrators, if you're not first person connected to me, you're probably coming up on page 3, 4, or 5 or something like that to begin with. And also know that anyone running a search, if you're not in their network, first, second, or third level, you don't come up in their search results at all. So if you have a profile on LinkedIn and no network, it's the same as having no profile at all. So my suggestion to you is, my number 1 suggestion to you in terms of building your network is connect with recruiters. They're easy to find. You go to an advanced search, you go to the title field and you put in recruiter. You flip it to current, you put in 78750 or whatever address, 78746, whatever you want, pick one, 77, whatever it is, 79702, and put in like 50 miles or whatever, you'll get 2,000 recruiters. And then start narrowing that down by healthcare or whatever it is that you do, and start connecting with recruiters, because if you connect with the recruiters, you're first person in their network, and guess who's in their second level or in their first level network? Hiring managers. So my network is about 20,000 people big, lots of recruiters, lots of hiring managers. So if you connect with me, you're not only first person to me, but you by definition just became second person to probably 3,000 or 4,000 hiring managers in Austin, Texas. So when they run a search, you will come up in higher search results. So by connecting with recruiters, you get a lot closer to the recruiters and to the hiring managers. The other thing you can do is search for hiring managers and connect with them. Because the whole point of my presentation is search optimization for your LinkedIn profile, so that when somebody searches for you, you come up at the top of search results. And there's me, my contact information.